Okay, so now we're going to talk about other gear that we have changed out.
Other gear
Yes.
or
Uh,
things we might be doing a little differently with
right.
the same gear.
So poles. I use poles, and as does Sam. But I found last year that my elbows and my arms got a little bit sore, and so I switched this year to poles with shock absorbers. I don't know if it's going to make any difference. I've used them on our short day hikes up in at Sandia Crest when we were in Albuquerque. I don't know if they're going to make any difference or not, but hopefully they will. So I needed new poles anyway, so I just went with the ones with shock absorbers. Um, Trowel. Last year we had the glowing orange trowel, and this weighed 1.8 ounces. This year we've upgraded. We're going to the nice little, this is called the
Trowel.
Deuce, the Deuce trowel, and it is 0.5 ounces. So yes, and it is a glowing blue. Sit pad, I switched to this one, which weighs 2 ounces versus this one that I had last year, which I liked last year. It was fine. It's a blow up one and it worked really well. In fact, sometimes I doubled it as a pillow. Weighs 3.8 ounces. So I'm saving a little bit of weight there. Okay, camp towel. Last year I took a full-size camp towel. This year I just cut it in half, and I'm just going to use half. It's not a big deal. It's not that much weight or bulk, but I just found that I didn't need a full-sized one, so I went with one a little bit smaller. Sam, you want to talk about your
Yes,
stuff?
I will. So I changed pillows out this year. Last year I had one that was already filled with the filling inside of it. This is a blow-up pillow. It's very comfortable. It's got like a velour finish on the top of it there. It actually has a little pocket that you can put gear into, a little storage pocket if you want to store gear in it. And if you want to roll it up, you can actually roll the pillow up and stuff it down in its own little stuff sack, so it gets down in there pretty small. I just put it in my pack now flat essentially, and I kind of use it as a buffer in between the two bear canisters that I'm carrying, with the big bear canister underneath and the smaller bear canister on the top. But I think it probably weighs about the same as the other one, but it's just less bulk that you have to carry around in your pack. So that's the reason that I went with the blow-up pillow. Last year I took about 30 batteries, Verb batteries, for my camera that we're recording on here. And this year what I'm going to do is I got a couple of these battery bricks from RAV. This is a 32, I think, 32,000 amp hour battery brick. And what I can do is I only have to take 16 of my Verb batteries, my camera batteries, with me. One of these bricks will recharge all 16 of those batteries at least once in a 10-day period, which is the longest segment that we have in between resupplies. So that means I'll be able to do all the video recording I want to do. It takes me about 3 batteries a day to do my recording and my picture taking. So this is a great addition. Now this is a little more weight. This is a little over a pound, almost 2 pounds worth of weight that I'll have to carry. But I've made enough trade-offs there to make up the difference with some of the other gear that I'll be leaving home. And this is much more important to me because we're trying to save some memories of our hiking days and what we do out on the trail, so that we can share it with you guys as well as our families. So this is an addition to my camera gear. The other thing that I did, that I changed out, and Kath kind of got me to consider this, is I'm now using a smart water bottle, which is much lighter than these Nalgene bottles. And these, I'll take about 3 of these. I had 2 of these last year, the Nalgene bottles. and it's really worked out well. I've tried it a couple of times here in our training when we've been out doing some practice camping and hiking, and I think this is really the way to go. It's much lighter, much easier to carry. Um, works good, lasts a long time.
Okay. Couple of other things. These are just having to do with kitchen more than anything. Last year I carried a lighter and Sam carried a lighter, and I just decided that I didn't need to be carrying that lighter because it was pretty heavy. I mean, well, relatively speaking. So I'm just taking some backup matches, waterproof matches, rather than carrying a lighter. We are going to be packing our bear canister differently this year. Last year we packed each day's worth of food in a big Ziploc bag. So we had the dinner in there, we had our breakfast bars, our lunch bars, our snacks, everything was in a big Ziploc bag, a gallon Ziploc bag. And we put those down in the bear canister. Well, obviously, because of the shape of the bag and the food that was in the bag, there was a lot of wasted space in the canister. Well, this year, as Sam said, we've got one leg that's going to be 10 days before we get a resupply. And so in order for us to be able to pack the bear canisters, we decided to do away with that bag. And we found that we could pack 40 bars in about the bottom 2/3 of this big one. And so that's going to be breakfast and lunch for us for 10 days. And then we'll have, of course, some dehydrated meals and some snacks. This year, one of the things that well, I'll talk about that later. Okay, so next thing that we've changed is the jet boil. We love the jet boil. Last year we used this particular canister with the jet boil, that pot, and we found that when you would put the food in there and the water, that sometimes the food on the top, even though you stirred it in between times, would not get fully hydrated, and so it was crunchy or it just wasn't quite done. So this year we switched to this pot to go on the jet boil, and it's nice because now the food can spread out and the water can spread out and it hydrates better. The one thing you need if you use this, let me get rid of that one, is you need an adapter that fits onto your to the gas canister in order for that to sit on it. So you've got this little doobie that and it just slides on here, and then that goes onto the canister frame so that you can go ahead and cook. But we just found that that worked so much better for us, and so that is a good solution to making sure that the food is fully hydrated. And basically that's what I have. Do you have anything else you want to add to gear or kitchen stuff?
No.
Okay. All right. So next segment coming up.
Next segment.